a little
to have
blurb
this
Sure.
thing
that I could put
put
on
back
the website and the Facebook
you know.
page. I'm gonna put a bunch of other stuff, but
With that little bit about if the dam
Yeah.
fails, water won't go.
That sounds a
Right.
little
That's
ominous, but
That's
No,
what most
but-
important.
yeah, it is.
That'll
Yeah.
get people's attention.
Yeah.
We really don't want that. Any other questions?
No, I don't have any.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I
thank
hope
you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
bet.
thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
It's nice meeting
And
you.
I'll check with the fire department. I know I saw him over there, a few months ago, but I don't know.
I know that our road, which is, depending on what tax map you look at, Hill Road, Mill Road, Joy Lane, or there's a fourth name for it. It used to have a fire placard on it, that it was a fire access lane, but that was removed several years ago.
Huh.
So, there's also this whole question about the status of that road.
That's a whole nother topic for
Yeah.
another day.
Actually, quite interested now because there's been some stuff in that section as of late,
Yeah.
in regards to a subdivision and different things. So
Okay.
it'd be kind of neat to go out and take a look at, how everything interacts.
Sure.
Because on one of the maps it looked like a road with infrastructure, but it wasn't. It was just an access point, and
Yeah,
yeah.
and
There's all sorts of neat stuff out there, like different,
yeah. I can have a conversation about that road for 2.5 hours if you
Yeah.
wanted to sometime.
Nope, we're good.
Alright.
Not
I
today.
might be in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
no,
could-
I
you
feel
could,
like it would be a cool thing to talk about.
You could come to a Heritage Commission meeting.
Oh, there you go.
I've dug up a ton of cool stuff on the property too, especially down in the Browns Mill section. There's an old dam further down the river between the dam and High Bridge. There used to be another dam there, and there used to be dorms and like tenement housing, and there's old wells and sewers and all sorts of stuff over there. It's wild. There's a lot of cool
Right
stuff.
at the
down there.
mill, there's
crazy
an
out
old
in the
bridge
woods.
under the new bridge.
Yeah, over High Bridge there.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. High bridge, low bridge, new bridge. A bunch of bridges.
Jacob,
Awesome.
thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much for having me.
Jacob.
I really
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it. Yep. Have a great rest of your
We'll
day.
touch base.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Good night, ladies.
Good night.
Thanks.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you know her name?
That was very interesting. I'm glad.
I know who it is.
She's on the conservation committee. She's Cleta.
Oh, that's Cleta?
Yeah.
Oh,
And the Sahegan River.
yep. She's our Sorlac
Yeah.
rep. Interesting. Okay.
And
Look
Joe,
at that. Right on
round
time.
Yeah, round table. Were you in for anything in particular, or?
Just hanging out.
All right, I
He's
didn't
got
see
nothing better to do.
I didn't see a list with a bunch of red numbers on it,
Nope.
so.
All good.
Great. All right, so we got
Oh boy.
highway block grant.
Yep, so we're getting a little bit less than we did last year, the amounts in your packet. Last year we got, so they do it fiscal year. So they, last year we got, in 2024, well, we're getting another $45,819 in October. They give it to us in July as well. But then January and April's payments are only gonna be $30,000 each instead of 45. So a little bit less in the, like $30,000 less
Okay.
for 2020, in our calendar 2025. So I just wanted to bring everybody's attention to that.
Have you done the math on this? If we're getting the $1,501 for each mile of class 4 and 5 roads.
No.
We have that mileage, don't we?
And we sent
Yeah.
somewhere,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it gets bigger each year.
And did you send that, thing to the state yet?
No, not yet. I've
Road
been waiting on a
inventory.
response from them, so I gotta get back to them and see
Road
what's,
inventory?
yeah, what's going on. I just gotta give them a call.
And approximately $13 for each person residing in a municipality.
Approximately.
Yeah.
I don't know how they figure it out.
Based on the state planning estimate of population.
Alright,
Cool.
next thing is, as we all know, Jenny is not doing the cleaning anymore, so we went and got quotes. We had 3 people come out between Jenny and I, and one of them, they said, they came out and everything, and they said they're just too busy to take on a weekly town office, which is really sad because we really liked them and they were much less than these 2 companies. However, here we are. So we do have these 2 quotes. I don't know if you want us to get more, and these obviously are not in the budget for 2024. They would be more budget for 2025, so that we would have to budget for the 2 quotes that you have here. One is Scott's cleaning service, and between it would be $350 for here and $350 for the PD weekly, and then they gave a two property discount of $250. So it would be final cost per week was $450 between the 2 buildings. So that was that one. And then we also had, can't remember, Final Touch was the name of the other company. And they gave us an initial quote and then they came back with this one. So the town office would be $240 a week and the police station would be $170 a week. So $410 a week. Right, total, did I add that right in my head?
Yep.
And then the other one was Dream Clean, and they said it would be about $150 a week for each, but they are too busy and they can't.
Mhm. Yeah, it's quite a bit different than what we had budgeted
Yeah,
previously.
But I think that's
$100 a week for
going
both
with,
buildings.
going with a company as
Mhm.
opposed to an individual,
Right,
and I think that's.
I mean-
With the individuals, then you don't have the overhead of.
insurance, and, cause these companies, must have insurance, and we
Yeah.
told them they have to get background checks and all that kind of stuff.
Which an individual would as well.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Especially at the.
yeah, but we just wanted to let them know as companies
Yeah.
that they would.
Cause we did have that one issue with that other company that said it was
Mhm.
impossible, like to
Yeah.
have their employees background
Yeah.
checked or something, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a couple years ago.
So, I mean, we can keep looking,
Mhm.
and I mean, if you would rather do an individual, I mean.
No,
it-
kinda like to
it's
Jason's point that I
fine.
made a couple weeks ago, it's close, like when you add up all 4 weeks, like would they be willing to come out like once a month and just do a cleaning, like for that same cost?
So.
Like vacuum the carpets and wipe, like just do the same level of service, not looking for like a one
I'd only
month.
do it monthly instead of
For
weekly.
this year, for the.
Oh, for the rest of
because
this
of the
year.
budget.
Yeah.
I talked to Dream Clean about that, but I don't know if Jenny talked to them, these 2 other companies about that. I
Okay.
don't know if they would be willing to do that or not. So, yeah, I mean, and like I said, we can keep looking and maybe do a ad on Facebook or something to,
Yeah.
so.
So did you talk with, people or just
Mhm.
got the emails?
No, they came
So
here,
was
they
there
walked through the the police department, took them downstairs, the whole bit,
Was there any preference?
all 3 companies. I will reserve my comments.
They're all good.
I will reserve my comments, yes, sure. So, I think we can think about it a little longer.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we're all trying to kind of pitch in and
Kinda like the
do
DPW
our
does.
share.
Yeah, so maybe, just keep doing that, like if everybody does a little bit each
Yeah.
week and then we have them come in, like if they're willing to come in
Once a month.
once a month. Yeah, I think that would be something to look into, cause it sounds like, even though you had that one 300 total. These are pretty in line with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, these two. So
Mhm.
when you average it out, you're probably gonna end up being in between that $300 and $400 price.
Is there any chance we can offer it to one of the town employees as an overtime pay? I
That's
imagine
so-
that's gonna be significantly less expensive.
Oh, it's overtime pay.
As overtime.
As overtime pay, could we do something like that? I mean,
Rather than
The
a separate
maintenance.
article.
the maintenance person, for example, or people that maybe want to do overtime, maybe that's a great idea, but then it would be a lot less than, a few $100 a week.
And they're already background checked.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a known thing. Like, and we've like put it out there. It's how Jen had gotten involved
Mm.
with it.
I'll mention
and
it at the staff meeting.
That was as a part-time, I believe.
Yeah, when she was
Yeah.
So
part-time,
she
she
was-
started doing that. Now she's 40 hours.
Yeah,
And it was
Plus
coming
trying to come in.
directly, she kept separate time cards for that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Where Joe's saying, no, put it all on the same rate that you're getting. Now, we do have varying rates.
Well, it would still come out of cleaning.
and I'm not sure. Like, and we don't know because she's not in here, but it sounds like her time's more occupied than it was previously.
sure.
So
Well,
it's just
yeah, she's
so
working
even if
40
you
hours
pay
now instead of 20.
like the overtime, it doesn't really matter because it's the same stressor.
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, she wouldn't do it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else would. I don't know.
I think it's
Lisa's
worth
cleaning the bathroom.
looking into, I guess, right?
Mindy cleaned the kitchen the other day. So we're trying to just everybody do
Mention
something.
it at a staff meeting.
Yeah, I get the staff meeting on Wednesday too.
I
So
mean,
I'll
I don't
mention.
know if there's,
I'll see if anybody wants to.
again, it goes back to the budget,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
if somebody wants the overtime, maybe they'd be willing to do it.
Do you remember how many hours that would be usually?
So when Carlene did it, I mean, she spent and she only did hair, she didn't do the PD, for ridiculous money. I mean, and she did an amazing job, and she probably cleaned about 4 or 5 hours, probably 4 hours a week, in up and down. She washed windows, she did everything. And then the couple of people that we had after that, not so much. We were constantly getting the alarms because they didn't dust the cobweb off the motion sensor in the lobby, and the windows weren't done, especially the doors, the glass on the door. So, I mean, I guess it's all what you put into it. And I don't know, and I mean, maybe they figured for $50 I'm not going, I'm not gonna give 110%, but I don't know. I don't know what their reasoning was, but
I guess that's a good point too. You had mentioned something about maintenance, and Mark's kind of like our maintenance person. I don't know if that would be because all the buildings that I work in, that's what it is the maintenance people go through
Right.
and do all those different things instead of private companies. So I don't know if that may be worthwhile
does he
looking
want
into.
more
If it,
hours, Mark? Would he? I mean, we can ask him.
Yeah, I
I
would
don't
have
want
to
to
ask
speak.
him.
I don't want to speak for him because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna mention it at the staff meeting anyway on Wednesday.
Mhm.
See if
So,
anybody has any
I
interest.
feel like that maintenance position is one that we could look at. From what I'm hearing in the different departments and different things, of more hours, in the next year,
Right.
More responsibilities.
more responsibilities.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So we do more maintenance in house
We
than
need more.
waiting till something gets so dilapidated that we have to hire a full company to
Right.
come in and refurb
Which is
things.
the way we do things. So
Yeah.
it'd be good to get away from that.
Yeah. Invest
proactive.
smaller amounts more regularly.
Yeah.
And hopefully have less big issues down the line. So those incoming budget talks, just to see how that can be incorporated in a way that doesn't push the budget up, which is
It should be a piece of cake.
this
Level
one's
funded.
this one's gonna be a fun one.
It is,
It's gonna be hard.
yeah,
I agree.
so. Trying to strike that balance is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm. That looks like it's coming up on our roundtable talk here.
Yep, yeah, and with that,
With that,
Debbie, would you like to speak about, the reval?
yes, I would, please. In the nicest way possible.
Well, no, I think it'd be good to explain the process,
I'm
cause
gonna.
even as I've been
I'm
riding
gonna.
around the last couple days, just most of the comments and different things that people bring up, they just don't know, like, how the whole
Right,
thing
they don't
works.
understand.
Yeah, they don't understand
And
it,
it's
yeah.
great when they call or come in and start yelling, but they calm down when you try to explain it and they listen to you. But we've had several people call and say, you guys don't know what you're doing, you know, all kinds of nasty things when you
But-
try to.
And that
So I
happens, yeah.
I just wanna I mean, there are a lot of nice people that as soon as you explain it to them, they're like, oh, alright, I get it. So, so the state requires that every town in New Hampshire does a revaluation every 5 years. So we had one in 2019, and the assessed values didn't go up that much because the house prices weren't going up like they have this time. So, and I understand, I'm a taxpayer as well, I don't want my taxes going up either, but, so the reval this time, a lot of properties are like almost doubling in their assessed value. So, people are like freaking out thinking, I'm gonna have to pay double the taxes. So when the assessed value goes up, the tax rate usually goes down. Maybe not proportionately, but I think in 2019 the tax rate went down by like $7 per thousand. So it went down a significant amount, because if the town needs $3 million to run, we still need the same $3 million. So it doesn't matter if you're paying $100 or $1,000. And I'm not saying that right, am I?
No.
No, it
So
doesn't matter if
it
you're-
doesn't matter how much
It's all
your
percentages.
house is worth.
Yeah.
Yes, we still need the same amount of money to run, so we're not getting more money, we're getting the same amount of money. But, it's just the tax rate goes down, the, assessed values go up. Excuse me.
But these values will vary depending when your house was last assessed. And so
Yeah.
some people were assessed at the beginning of the last revalue.
No, well,
Well, I'm saying that's when their value was set. Other people maybe have done an addition or something.
Yeah.
They've been revalued
in
more
the
currently,
meantime,
so it won't affect them as much.
as much.
Some
And
people will take a big hit.
some people will, and even in 2019, that was part of the well, there were a few people, I think there were probably 10 properties that increased their taxes by a lot. Most people were either pretty level or within $400 either way, more or less than what they had paid in their previous tax bill. So the state resets the tax rate in October, so that affects directly how much you're gonna pay, and people are getting aggravated that we don't know the answer to how much am I gonna have to pay now, but we don't know, cause we don't know what the tax rate is gonna be. So, I mean, hopefully it's gonna be right around the same as your July bill, but we don't know what it's gonna be. And like I said too, there's a lot more single family and, you know, a lot more buildings in town than there were last year, so there's a lot more,
So that may
and there's a
help
few
offset
that'll
the-
help all the rest of
Yeah.
us, you know, who are, it'll help offset how much the tax rate, how much the tax bill is gonna be. And there's a few homes in town that are now valued at like over $1 million. So, and they weren't assessed a couple of years ago. So, I mean, there's a whole big formula that they use to calculate the whole new, you know, and it's market value. And so we're posting a bunch of stuff on the website and on Facebook, like frequently asked questions about revaluation and how it works. And we're posting the preliminary values of every property in town.
Mhm.
Doesn't have names, it's just the address of each property, and it's all public records, so it's not non-public. But anyways, but I just wanted to try to calm people's fears that it's not, you're not gonna have to pay double your what you know, if you paid $5,000 in July, you're not gonna have to pay $10,000 in December. You know,
Yeah, well, I mean, there's
a lot of,
there is increases that were voted. So
Right.
regardless of the valuation, your taxes were going up because of the vote in March.
right, yeah,
That's
so that's the
just
other
a
thing
given.
too. So when the state
Yeah.
resets the tax rate in October, it's what you voted on in March. So
Yeah.
the school budget, our budget, you
The
know,
county,
all,
the state,
the county, the state, all of
yeah,
the
and all
warrant
we have
articles.
control over is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
building, that's
Right.
it, like
Yeah,
this
we
building.
only have control over what our, the town budget.
However, as voters, we have control over somewhat of what that school portion is.
Mhm.
Just
True.
as much as you somewhat
Right.
have control over this,
Right.
so with the school.
So, I mean, it's, we don't have an answer, we don't know how much the tax bills are gonna be, what the tax rate is gonna be, but in that letter that everyone received, there's times to call in and set up an appointment. They're doing the appointments on the 15th, 16th, and 17th? Yeah, 15th, 16th, and 17th, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, for anyone who calls in and schedules an appointment with them. And it's the assessing company, so if you have any questions, you can direct them to them, or if you don't think your assessed value is correct, then,
That's this month?
yeah, yeah,
It's-
it's next week.
I haven't even
Yeah.
got a
So they
notice
sent the letters out last week, I think, Thursday, some went out Thursday, some went out Friday, so most people got them on Friday or Saturday. So anyways, there's dates and times to call, and then, to set up appointments for the 15th, 16th, and 17th. I think the 16th, the Thursday, they're doing them till, Friday? One of those days they're doing it till 6 p.m. and then Saturday as well,
So this
for
isn't,
people who
this
work.
isn't a time for asking for an abatement.
No.
It's just,
There's no tax
you have
bill, so you
question,
can't get an
yeah.
abatement.
yeah,
So
so it's,
somebody else had asked that as well. You're not getting an abatement. All of these numbers aren't technically finalized until they upload them into the Avatar system. So right now, all I can see is the current stuff. I can't see what the reval stuff is. And once that's all approved, they've done all their meetings and talked to people and made any changes they needed to make, then they're gonna dump that into Avatar, into the current database. And hopefully, that'll, you know, what it is, I mean, can't change it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's just one of them interesting things, you know, where
Yeah.
it's, everybody gets excited cause the values are higher and,
Yeah.
oh, this is great,
And I
and you have to
mean,
pay for it, just like when
Well-
my son entered a contest for, he used to choose between a Ferrari and some Lamborghini or something, like, you pay the taxes on that.
Right.
Thing, you know? Oh, well, they're giving you $60,000 cash too, I was like, I guess.
Oh, alright. Yeah,
wait till you see how much it costs to register.
Right.
Right?
well, see, and that's
But
the
still,
thing, like,
yeah, it's
people
just
don't
like a wacky,
understand.
yeah.
If I didn't work at the town office, I would be like, what is this? I wouldn't know
Yeah.
what, you know, how it all worked and what it all means and whatever,
And
so.
even working in the town office, kinda know.
Yeah, I mean, well, cause there's the unknown that we don't know what the tax rate is gonna be, so we're hoping that it's not.
Yeah, 'cause we have that very small bit, like, that we can control that impacts the tax rate here as
Right.
managers of the town, offices.
Yeah.
So
So,
we try to do our best, and then it gets, I think the fuzzy thing is that we have to collect the money. So everybody always thinks
Well-
that it all comes here.
well, and that's the thing, so Lisa, because she's the tax collector, is getting all these people calling and yelling and coming in and throwing papers at her and whatever, and like, she doesn't know, she just takes the money in.
Mhm.
The assessing is who is doing all the the other part of it, of creating all this. So I mean, I keep telling her, I'm like, just transfer the call to me or Pam.
There must be a,
You know?
some type of
It's
a
on the
fax
website.
page or
It's
something.
on the website
yeah.
under assessing, but
Yeah.
because you're the tax collector, I mean, I remember in 2019, everyone was calling Jess. You
No,
know,
I mean just that information that
it is.
it's clear, you know, 'cause some, even just in the explanation, it doesn't sound that clear, and then what it leaves out and what's hard to throw in is that element of what that next tax rate's gonna be, as well as the fact that a home that hadn't had any type
Yeah.
of revaluation
Right.
done in the last 5 years,
Right,
those people will feel
right,
this, but they're gonna pay their like fair portion of
Right.
the taxes, so it's kinda
Right.
like they've gotten a break
right,
for 4 years, so to speak, and
Right.
other people have paid proportionally more because their home values
exactly,
had gone up.
yeah,
So now this is just putting everybody on a level playing field
right,
for 1 year,
cause the
and
state,
then after that,
well,
the same
see,
cycle starts
and
again.
right,
So it seems like lunacy that every 5 years this goes through, like the stress level goes through,
Yeah.
and people forget
yeah.
exactly how it impacted them and why.
Yeah, or you have new
or how.
homeowners that they weren't around 5 years ago that
That's not lunacy, that's just
human
normal
nature.
life. You're
Welcome
on
to the
planet
big
Earth.
No.
No, I mean, and it's every town. It's
Yeah.
not, you know. It's just once those letters go out, you know, it's gonna be a nightmare. You know, and
Well, we're pulling for you guys in the
hey,
office.
thanks. We need donuts and cupcakes or something.
Very
I don't
much
know.
our-
You take one arm, I'll take the other.
Right. Well, I mean, it's frustrating because you get calls all day long, and it's like, does anybody call you at your job and tell you you suck?
Yep.
Yeah.
20 phone calls in a row.
Oh, now.
Well, I don't
All
know about
day
20 in a
long.
row. That's pretty.
You know?
I had 5.
But I mean, it's just
Yeah,
it's just sad and frustrating. I get that people are frustrated, but don't like
mm-hmm.
ask the question and listen to the answer.
And
Don't
try
just-
to remember that you're talking to a person,
Oh, that would be cool too.
wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, that's something
And we have feelings too.
our society.
We do the best we can.
Society could certainly use that
Yeah.
reminder.
You know.
of
Yeah.
People.
I mean, and I get the frustration because I would be like I said, if I didn't work at the town office and I didn't know what was going on, I would be like, what?
It would be cool if there was some type of flow chart, because there is many scenarios in this whole thing.
Yeah.
So you can't really give a definitive answer, because
Right.
the definitive answer is that the amount in taxes that you pay won't go up. Like, but then unless
Well,
Right.
this trigger
voted
and
in a
Right.
that
bunch of
trigger.
things
I mean,
last
it
yeah,
could-
no, the last
and it
year, yeah,
could
no, that's
go
what I
up.
mean. This,
Yeah.
that, the other,
Right.
and that's what a lot of people don't realize, that what is paid in July has nothing to do with the March vote. That doesn't hit until
December.
yeah,
Right.
and
Right.
it just so it's
No
just
matter how
off.
much we
Everything's
say it.
off, and the schedules
know.
are off, and
But
Yeah.
no matter how much you say it,
I know. How many times do we say it? Multiple times a year.
it just is what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean,
it's too
and a
bad
lot
that
of
you guys
people-
gotta take the brunt
Well,
of it, but it's
yeah.
part of your job.
I know. It's great.
Pull up your mom.
Remind me 5 years from today to take a vacation.
right.
So I'm not at to get yelled at.
it'd almost be interesting to look at every reval year what the vote is, like
Oh.
of the passage
Yeah.
or non-passage
It would
of
be.
the
Oh.
budget
Yeah.
would be.
I did look up the tax rate,
Mm.
and you know that's how I.
Well,
knew.
no, you can see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you
just
can
drop.
see, you can tell what a reval year was because the tax rate went way down
Yeah.
from the previous
But
year.
to your point, politically speaking, that would be good information to have
Yeah.
in structuring our budget. If what you're saying, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That there's a reval and a lot of people's taxes took a big hike.
Yeah.
Well, then that next March, a lot of people voted no.
Right.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'd have to look. But
Yeah.
if
Well-
that's the case, it would be something to bear
Definitely
in mind.
So-
I mean,
2019, 2020. I mean, 2019 was the reval, but most people didn't get hit too hard because it wasn't. I mean, from the previous 5 years, the market was pretty level. You know what I mean? They went up a little, but not like this insanity. You know what I mean?
100%.
But my assessed value was 240, and now it's almost 500. So, yikes. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said,
That makes
good thing I
anyone's
work
heart-
here because I know how that works, but I
make
would have had a
anyone's
heart attack.
Go right into there.
Yeah, and that's what people are doing, and this is like a huge increase compared to the last reval, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I get it. But,
Well, when
You
you
know,
have time, explain it to me, cause I don't get why property values shot up 100
Oh, I don't
to
know.
200%. That's
No.
like crazy.
because that's what the market is.
Well, I know, but
When
what's
I bought my
driving it
house-
is what the question is, but we don't really
Yeah,
gotta
no,
find
I
out.
don't
You know what's
what-
driving it?
I do.
Yeah, other investment brokers from other countries buying up
It's true. A lot of
swaths
that
of,
is.
yeah, coming in and
Brokers.
yeah. So we'll see how it all plays out. There's a lot of interesting things going on right
It
now.
certainly is.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We
Yeah.
picked
Well, the
a
other
great time
topic-
to be sitting in these chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other topic that
Hold
came
your
in through
boots.
the conversations was that there were some errors in there or some changes. And that was because they actually did not necessarily do a visit to the house to find out what the actual, or to work out what the actual value would be on it. They were just going straight out of the tax cards that, or the cards that the assessors have.
So, they can't go to 2,500 properties in 6
Well,
months.
I understand that,
So-
but you know,
What they do is they go by, so any building permits, that triggers an in-person usually inspection unless it's a pretty simple thing. Like if you, your building permit said you were building a 20 by 20 shed, okay, you're building a 20 by 20 shed, we assess it at this amount of money. So they don't really have to go out to that. Any new houses, they do go out to those, and they do that over the course of the 5 years in between. And then, so they're not going inside it's not like back in the old days. I remember when my parents built a house and they were like, whatever you do, don't let the assessors in. I don't want them to see that finished basement, you know? But, I mean, it's not really like that. You're just trying to get the fair market value, but which everybody wants the high prices when they're trying to sell their house, but nobody wants it while they're living in it, and they're not gonna sell it because they don't wanna pay the higher taxes. But I mean, if you have a 20 by 20 barn, or you have, whatever, so like I said, that all triggers the assessors to go out, and like I said, they don't necessarily go inside. They're not looking to see if you have carpeting or hardwood or laminate floors. You know what I mean? That all pretty much stays the same on your card from, even if you do a whole like I did my kitchen floor, it's not linoleum anymore, it's ceramic tile. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
Right,
they're
but-
not looking for that. That's not what makes a huge difference.
but that's the part that that the two callers that I had that brought it up was that there are some errors on, on the, in the letter about what the house is, done. And the same thing happened with my house, that
There's errors in the letter?
yeah, when the assessors, the coterie,
Yeah.
they had taken that, let's say that, in my case, I put vinyl siding on the house, and yet they marked it down as it was clapboard, simply because that's the way it was before, when the last, visit was done. for the
Yeah,
assessor.
so again, they're not going to did you get a building permit to
Right.
replace that? No.
Yeah, but what
So they're
people-
not triggered to go out there.
I totally understand that, cause
Yeah.
I've been around.
You're just identifying one of the stressor
Yeah.
points, for
Oh, that
people
they're
is
not,
that-
they're thinking, well, I didn't do anything, or I did this, or did that,
That's right.
and they didn't come here, so how can they say my house is worth this?
Right.
Gotcha, okay.
but probably
I
not
was
that snarky.
misunderstood. Was I being snarky?
Yep.
Me? Snarky? Never. I love that word. Yeah, no, so you got calls?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, just from people you know?
And the couple that I did,
Yeah.
that were
Interesting.
referred to by people that I did know.
Oh, got it, yeah.
What would be kind of neat is that all this is like, because what I really look at is the town rate is if ours drops below what the previous reval year was, cause everything's been so tight, it's not like we've, really doubled anything over
Yeah.
the last 5 years, so it's
Right.
just to see how it works with the doubling of the,
Assessed values.
the value of the homes,
Mhm.
and then it'd be kinda cool just to see if that could translate into a lower rate than 5 years ago. And
That's the
then
goal.
Well,
no, just,
Yeah.
it's plausible, like
Yeah.
it could actually
Yeah,
happen.
well, and
Well, like-
because of the increased
Yeah.
number as well.
And
Yeah.
that has happened in the past.
But what
Well,
you can't help is the people that haven't been, had any assessments done in this 5-year span.
right.
They're the ones that are gonna hurt. Cause they've not been brought up incrementally,
Well, I mean,
right?
Yeah,
Kind-
this is an
kinda.
excessive one.
yeah, and it is excessive, and that's
Yeah.
because of the market.
But it's just proportional, and we'll see
But
where
if
it
you
all
need
yeah,
$3 million,
shakes out,
you
yeah.
still need $3 million. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
no, yeah, all
as
of it
far
makes
as
sense, it's just there
collecting
are a couple scenarios where people can be impacted more than others.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Alright,
All right, cool.
thanks for the information,
Okay.
and
We did
we have like a hotline.
have, yeah, your cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'll stop passing out your cell phone.
They leave a voicemail, I won't check it,
Right.
text or email.
You did send us a couple emails last week.
Yeah.
I think one is on our agenda
Non-public
for
legal.
non-public,
Yep.
but the other one. Did you talk to them or just get this email?
What was the other one?
Brownfield.
Oh, yeah, good call. No, I did not talk to him. I emailed JB and asked him about, what's going on as far as the old highway garage. He said the preliminary testing looks pretty good, and they didn't see much of what they were concerned about as far as like the transformers and PCBs and all that kind of stuff.
Or petroleum.
Petroleum. So it looks better than expected. And they are once they get their report together, they're going to come in and talk to us.
Alright,
They
So-
did mention that they saw PFAS.
You would find
PFAS
find
is
it
everywhere. You
I-
cannot avoid it.
I
I bet you it's
I
in
know that.
yours. I bet you it's in your yard and mine. I'm
no,
not, and I'm not being
no, the
snarky.
plastic rain,
Okay,
It's everywhere.
but they did
chemical rain,
mention it.
Yeah.
and
They did. Well, and
yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
But it
just
was really good
everywhere.
news because
Yeah.
when we
We expected all
started,
kinds
we were
of
gonna
stuff.
auction it. All of a sudden, people are coming up to us. Oh, that place is
Yeah.
a toxic waste dump, and
Yeah.
the
Apparently
stories
it's
start
not.
coming, and then that's when we were like, no,
Mhm.
fine, we're gonna get it tested.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
this.
And
I
they'll
know.
be able to, set the record straight,
Pretty
there'll be
awesome.
official documentation for both pieces of property right there, and
Yep.
it'll be all put to bed.
Yep.
Yeah, it
Yeehaw.
says, according to Ransom, there does not appear to be PCB contamination associated with the alleged dumping of transformer fluid or petroleum contamination.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
That's
was
pretty exciting.
solid, it was
Yeah.
nerve wracking making that decision to
I know.
pause and take all this time,
Right.
so that 7,000 is still in ARPA, right?
Yeah.
7,000 for our,
No, to start kinda like
well, we
feeling out
did
the,
900 for the survey.
the survey, yeah.
So
But
there's
for the
6,100.
community, or like repurposing of the building, just to feel it out,
Mm.
like just kind of poke and prod and get the electrical going, see if the well still works, yeah.
I feel like the old town hall would be better for a community center.
It,
But
it would
that
be
was
better,
really surprising.
yeah, but,
yeah, I know. I was pretty
Because,
pumped when I
yeah.
saw that.
I would have thought there was gonna be something
Yeah,
more than what everyone's drinking today.
I know. Right.
awesome,
Yeah.
good news.
Good call. Thank you. I forgot about that.
Do you have anything you wanna speak on, Joe?
Nope.
Peter? Anything else? Lou?
No,
Jason?
Mm-mm.
Debbie?
Nope.
No?
You? Oh, he's got a list. Sean? That was snarky, sorry.
No, I can appreciate it. I don't mind if you're like snarky at me about me. It's just the generalization of the public.
Gotcha. No, and
I know.
I wasn't saying everyone. There were a few select people today, especially, that were not nice.
Yeah, no.
All right, sweet.
I'm good.
Are you on the Autumn Fest committee?
Yes.
Just curious, when, is there a date set yet, or?
Yes, I'm away that weekend.
It's October 5th.
5th. And I won't
So
be
it's
there.
Autumn Fest. And
Sad.
action, yeah. Yeah, Autumn Fest, and everything seems to be headed in the right direction.
Good.
A lot of preliminary planning has been laid, all the foundations laid, and people contacted, and it seems like it's gonna come together, pretty nice. There's a good little group of people working on that now.
Yeah, last year was fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I had a great time.
Yeah. So we're actually looking at a couple of potential elements to have that expanded a little bit, and kind of feeling out if it could go different hours or longer hours because of now having lights at the 2 ballparks down there. Gonna do the bonfire again, but there's something that can encourage people to stay later, like a little bit later down at the park, or if we wait till next year to do some of those bigger, longer plans. And it was floated about potential of fireworks display down there in that format of a contest, but they've worked out all the details with the fire department, and as it gets closer,
Contest.
yeah,
Not official yet.
yeah, we'll speak.
Possible,
Yeah, we'll
huh?
speak on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds
Be kind of neat.
Cool.
like fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Have wheelie contests, like for a kid, bicycle wheelie contest.
Yeah.
All the things that I hear people talk about, and I never went, but like some of the 4th of July parades and celebrations, how they really had the kids, I don't know, like Olympics kind of,
Yeah.
bunch of competitions with bicycles and running and jumping and basketball, and
Yeah.
Skateboard tricks.
there's a lot you can do with almost no money.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we do it all the time. Yeah. And it's usually like the celebratory things don't have to require a lot of money,
Right.
which kind of brings in the something we touched on was the 275th for next year too, and I didn't know. That's got to get going, like
Yeah,
that
we need to
dialogue, that
get on that
conversation,
quickly.
how best to approach it. So I didn't know what you guys had for suggestions on that. So I'm really, thankful that you brought up, Autumn Fest, because that's kind of been in my head, is to piggyback, off next year's Autumn Fest, because it's already a town celebration day
Right.
that's known.
Right.
And then
Maybe we could make it like a weekend. You know what I mean? Do Autumn Fest one day and or just kind of incorporate it all into a weekend at the field.
well, even just to
Potluck.
have that meeting, like
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it should be like a town department head meeting first, like kind of see who's interested in having input in that, and then soliciting for members outside, like from our community
Yeah.
to come in.
Yeah.
So I
You
just
can put something on Facebook and watch.
where you guys are thinking, because I know that stuff can kind of get out of control real fast too.
What do you mean? What do you mean
What's
by
that?
out of control?
No, like ideas go, like you need 5 years to plan for this because
Yeah.
of all the ideas that you have to filter down.
Right.
Like
Which is what
really,
Jaffrey did.
really quick.
5 years.
Yeah. So if you have 5 years to plan for something, then you can build a fund and,
Yeah. Well, we
Make
have
it-
a revolving fund. We don't have a dime in it, but
that's something that had been
we
brought
need
up to
to
me
have
over the
some
weekend,
fundraising.
was that the old was it the 200th or 220,
That's gone.
250th? Like, so that did get voted and
Yeah.
then reassigned.
No,
No.
it got put into the general fund.
It did get put into
It
the
got
general.
dissolved.
That's, cause that's all you have to, that's all you
And that
can-
was within the
that's
last
all you can do.
Yeah.
2 years, right?
Yeah, it
Couple
was on
years
our
ago.
board, on our watch.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
And
think it was 2
that
years
person
ago.
said no, that it hadn't been. So
Yeah.
I
maybe.
think it has.
It was.
Alright.
It was the ministerial fund that they kinda withdrew,
Mm-hmm.
that they didn't fully get rid of.
Yeah.
But the 250th, I think it was just
There wasn't much
dissolved.
money
There's only
back
like a
then.
couple
No.
$100,
Yeah.
and it went back into the general fund because that's the only way you can do it, I guess.
They're kind of so the natural place of thought is to have like the rec department, you know,
Mhm.
heavily involved in it because they have that
Yep.
ability, like that revolving fund to see what they would be willing to, you know, do
Mhm.
more or less.
I agree.
But then not to make it something too wacky. And I guess if that the fireworks goes off well, like we can see that we can all operate as human beings together again, and
And not shoot bottle rockets at each other.
yeah, so we not always have to play out the what if scenarios
Right.
to the nth degree where we're all just barricaded in our homes and
Oh, you just
like afraid to look at
paralyzed.
the sun. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paralyzed with fear.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Then you don't live.
correct.
Right.
And I think that's where some of the cost comes in because then everything just has to be this, and you have to incorporate these measures, and you have to do this.
Right.
But if we can find a way to do things as a community, like I forget what year if the picture was from, but just like setting up the potluck down Main Street.
Yeah.
That didn't cost our community much because people
Right.
probably brought down tables and chairs and
Yeah.
food and decided to want to sit and you know.
This happened?
Yes, it did happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
I
I know
thought you
you
were just
mentioned it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were just
Oh, I
saying that
never
would be a
heard
great idea. I didn't know there was.
And again, I didn't know there was a
Yeah, it's on.
community in the woods over there by High Bridge either.
What?
Yeah, right.
That's what he just,
Something
Jacob
new every
was
day.
saying.
Yeah, Jacob
Oh
said.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Tenement housing.
It's wild back there. When even at all the different spots where there's dams, you start to go downstream a bit, and the infrastructure that's all around, and the different things, you know, that were in town that are long
Mm.
since
I
gone.
remember
and
as a
forgotten.
kid running down that pipeline, but I wouldn't have had an eye for the kind of stuff I would now.
Yeah.
I should take a
Right.
look at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
So getting to, I'll try to find like that specific
Yeah.
story, you know,
No,
that
that's
That'd be
great.
you know, 5,
I
6
know.
years ago.
Love it.
But just to kind of make it more of a community event instead of, hey, what's the town doing for us?
Right.
Let's
Right.
all get together and do something together,
Mhm.
like, and make it as good as we can. You know, like,
Right.
yeah, more
I agree.
communal instead of trying to attract outside people into the town because it's really a celebration for New Ipswich.
Right.
It could be a celebration of New Ipswich, and maybe someone from the state would care to come down, and you know,
Well, we have a state rep that lives in town.
yeah. So we'll see,
Yeah.
like, more on that the official ends of things instead of a bunch of pomp and circumstance.
Right.
But just you know, fun
Yeah. Fun stuff.
time to be together. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that.
So in the
Good
coming
thoughts.
weeks,
Yeah,
yeah.
good
So I
thoughts.
put fire under my own feet here.
Yeah.
I try to keep it quiet. It like periodically comes up, and it's just, oh man,
Yeah.
I did say that, didn't I?
Darn it.
We'll get to it and try to, you know, we'll all work together to make this thing
Yeah. Love it.
great for as many people as want to share into it.
Make New
Sharing it.
Ipswich great again.
It's already great. Greater.
I couldn't resist.
lower tax
Sorry,
rate.
I had to.
All right.
Keep it great again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Second call, Jason.
Not yet.
All right. All right. With that, you know, thank everybody that takes the time to tune in to watch this, and thank you, Ron.